Welcome to the range as we get closer with Brandon Brown. And we have your panel for tonight. Wes, don't call him Zesty. Henderson.
I got one more test to go.
Not really a test.
Cleveland. Spears.
I got a final production. I don't count that as a test.
And J.B. Brown.
Oh, I'm done with finals. I'm good.
Fuck that.
First topic, we have your NBA playoffs. Some teams still fighting for it. The Western Conference is already set. The Eastern Conference, one more team needs to get in. But talking about your Western Conference finals and how the teams got there, started off Cleveland.
Yes! First of all, we're going to talk bad about Brandon's San Antonio Spurs and how terrible they have played against the Phoenix Suns, who are my second team, mainly because of Steve Nash. I only like Steve Nash, but the hell with everybody else in the team. It's all about Steve Nash, who beat the Spurs in the fourth quarter with one eye. That's right, fellas. You heard me right.
Rocky.
One eye. He rocky that shit. Yeah, you're right about that one. Now, the Suns swept the Spurs. The Lakers swept the Jazz. Both are kind of unexpected. We both said the Jazz will win at least one or two games. Win at least one.
At home, definitely.
We said that Phoenix, with me and JB at least, said that Phoenix would win that series in 6 or 7. But it went in 4. Amazing.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a sweep in the second round.
Yeah, that's true. I've never seen sweeps in the second round happen before.
Yeah, especially since we haven't gotten to the other conference yet, but every conference, every series except one has been lowering the brooms. Sweep, 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 sweep.
Well, you know, usually in the Eastern Conference you would expect that, but here in the West, when usually all 8 teams
Have 50 wins.
Yeah, exactly. 50 wins. You know, they have that potential. They're very tough to play out especially when they're at home. You know, looking at Phoenix, they can going Phoenix, going to San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know, and then LA, of course, going to Utah. I mean, you would expect that Utah and San Antonio at least get 1 or 2 wins out of that. But
Yeah, you kind of figure going home, the 2 toughest places to play in the Western Conference is Phoenix and it's San Antonio and Utah.
definitely.
Every time you go on a series, on a 7-game series, they say, where's the toughest place to steal a game at? San Antonio, Utah. And so it's really kind of surprising that the Lakers and the Suns that did what they had done, especially when, the Lakers were a far better team than Utah. So, I kind of taking 2 games in Utah was kind of great. Almost expected.
Kind of.
But the Suns taking 2 straight games from the Spurs in San Antonio kind of worried me a little bit. All the moves the Spurs had made before the season, getting Richard Jefferson,
Trash.
Ron Blair. Don't talk about Richard Jefferson like that. He wasn't saying that against the Mavs, was it?
No, he wasn't.
That's
Even though Richard Jefferson was non-existent, so but still.
He was existent in a very big game 3.
Yeah.
Or game 2, actually. I take that back. Game 2 in Dallas. That really won the series for the Spurs.
But it's okay. Brandon's just hating because his team's no longer here. Which is okay. Because my teams didn't even make it. At least y'all's team made it. I'll give you that much credit. But technically, the Spurs didn't show up for that series at all. So, I went here, but they didn't show up.
Yeah, I would go ahead and say that San Antonio's best chance to win was Game 3. But after having that huge lead and having
Goran 19 points.
Goran Dragic, that's
God.
Steve Nash light. Pretty much,
Yes,
that's what that
it
is. He's a left-handed Steve Nash,
Which is a
and
lot more dangerous in the NBA.
he scored. He pretty much ripped San Antonio a new one,
In game
built him
3.
another one, and ripped that one again in the fourth quarter. 20 of his 23.
No, all 23.
Yeah, all 23.
All 23 of his points in that game came within 2 minutes of the third quarter to the end of the ball game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So 14 minutes of ball game to score 23 points. Very impressive.
And then Phoenix came back from that 19-point deficit to beat San Antonio by double digits. I mean, Phoenix could be that scary team that everyone could be saying, hey, maybe Phoenix has a shot.
Well,
Which we're about to get
yeah,
to.
we're not going to get into it, and unless you wanted to say something, you want to add something into that, Cleveland, before we actually get into that whole looking ahead.
I just, really and truly, I think the biggest thing for them is kind of Steve Nash having that, Willis Reed type kind of, kind of attitude. Coming back out, playing with an eye halfway shut, and then at the end of the game, it's completely shut. I mean, that's very bold. I mean, you never really see players do that. But he said he knew he would let his team down if he didn't come back. Is that a selfish player, or is that a player knowing that he knows what he has to do?
Yeah, and then but with them and LA actually clinching, they have a little bit of leeway, a little bit of time to rest. Steve Nash could ice down his eye. I mean, pretty much it's going to be black.
He needs that eye.
I mean, it's going to be black, but he'll still be able to see. So I don't think a black eye is going to stop Steve Nash from dishing the dimes against the Lake Show.
As you mentioned, JB, now let's go ahead and look ahead to this Western Conference Finals matchup. All right, you have LA and you have Phoenix. All right. Now I don't we're not getting through the picks just yet. Just who's going to win or lose. I just like, what do you think of this matchup and how do you see it coming?
I can say this series can go 7 games, but I see it going 6 games. Not going to say who will be winning that, but it'll be very entertaining. Hopefully it's not going to be like the Lakers and Utah, because I totally expected that series to be going on still, and yet
Here we are.
they're in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, you're right. We got 6. We're down 6. They have 6 days to play. Which, in retrospect, you can get, your eye swelling going down. The swelling can go down in your eye in 6 days to play. They play starting Monday, which we won't be here for Monday, which is kind of sad. That the end is coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, we do need to really sit here and think about what's going on here. For me, as a coach, I do look at the coaches, Phil Jackson versus Alvin Gentry. Great good 2 coaches who know how to get their teams pumped up on a quiet way. Mm-hmm. What did he say to Drogic before he went on a 23-point barrage? Hey, just be aggressive. What did Phil Jackson say to Kobe in Game 4? Hey, close us out. And so, it happened. They have their way of inspiring their team. But I also look at defensive matches. I think Kobe Bryant's going to have to play Grant Hill or Quentin Richardson at some point.
Jason Richardson.
Did I say Quentin?
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, Quentin used to play with Phoenix.
Yeah, sure.
That's close enough.
But he has to play Jason Richardson. He's going to have to play one or 2 of them. He's going to have to try to do at least, have to do like double duty. He won't be able to sit a lot in this game.
Yeah.
And I think this whole thing, and Steve Nash, I always kind of figure who's going to hold Steve Nash and who is Steve Nash going to guard. And I think it comes down to Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher and Steve Nash will have to go against each other, which kind of sucks because both of them can't defend worth a shit.
True.
I hate to say it. Both of them are not your top-notch defenders. So Steve Nash may go for about 20 a game. Derek Fisher may go for about 15 a game. But it's all about the assists. If you get the assist down, we may be okay. Amari Stoudemire versus Paul Gasol, can't wait to see that matchup. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see it because really and truly it's going to be a hell of a matchup because they both can shoot outside and go inside.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with Carlos Boozer. I mean, I thought he should have manhandled Gasol, and yet Gasol played him he played him like a fiddle. I mean, he was like Carlos Boozer was the puppet to Pau Gasol.
All right, so go ahead and make our picks right now. Wes?
I want to say the Lakers will get this in 6.
Fuck you.
Not really being a homer, I'm going to say I'm going with Phoenix.
I'm going to go with Phoenix in 6. We'll be right back here on The Ring.